Well, good evening, everybody. Just a little bit of a technical delay then. I just hadn't finished my dinner, so bear with me, please. I do apologise. This is the game number 26 of the competition between South Australia and Western Australia. So we're looking forward to a great game. I'm joined tonight by Mr. James Harris and Mr. Lang Harrow. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Lee. Great to be here.
Thanks, Lee. Sensational night for softball. Ended day 3. Feature game between SA and WA. It's been a long ride for WA this tournament so far. So close yet so far away. 0-7 record, but they pushed South Australia to a 9-inning, 2 extra innings. The first time these two teams met yesterday afternoon.
Well, they're close. They're knocking on the door, aren't they? So we wish them all the best. The first 2 batters were out courtesy of a 5-3 and a standing K2. This is Tabitha Rewell. And it's INN. Inside the grass area there. Nothing Abby Jorgensen, who's playing centre field for the red team, could do about that. So, Lang, this wouldn't be your first time on this?
No, I've had the pleasure of being on here a few times through the travels through Adelaide, so it's, we understand what Spacequake does to provide the services, and it's great.
Has gone to. There's a couple of young Australians over there at the moment as well. Cara Schultz is there. I always fail to think of the other one. My apologies, she's not from South Australia though. So
this is the number 4 hitter, Shani Hair-Rower. Ooh, gets a piece of that, goes foul.
Out of Utah, that junior college, yeah.
Salt Lake
City?
Salt Lake Community College, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Well taken by third base, Neve Adams, that retires the side, retires Shani. So no score. And that'll be Western Australia's turn in the field, and then the red team will be batting. Just to explain to you, those people who don't know Lang, he's the Aussie Spirit head coach. He is also the Aussie Steelers head coach, and they were successful beating Canada 5-2, wasn't it, Lang?
Correct.
Only, a week or so ago? It's not long ago.
Yeah, it's probably just coming up to the 2-week mark, so it's
still riding a bit of a wave.
It's it's just an outstanding effort by our guys, our team, our staff, and players, and the quality of the competition was probably some of the best I've ever seen, and for our guys to be show up and compete every day and battle, times we were down on that, but they knew how to battle back, and but we also knew how to win when we were in front as well. So it was outstanding, and it's still quite fresh, and probably still hasn't sunk in, but
no, but it will eventually. In a year or 2.
And then I guess it's just great for the Steelers program to add another medal, a gold medal. Obviously the success of our first one in 2009, and we've been close a couple of times since then, but to finally knock off the world champs and beat Canada was excellent.
A silver medal in 2017 and a couple of bronzes in between as well. So it's becoming a regular occurrence for the Australian men's team. It's not known around Australia that men's fast pitch is such a competitive sport, but the Argentinians, the Japanese, the New Zealanders, they're all fantastic. USA, borrowing one of our pitchers, got a bronze this year.
Brad Kilpatrick, yes, he had quite a tournament. We had quite a tussle against the U.S. I think the final score was 12-9. They jumped us early, and we battled back. It went back and forth, and then obviously Brad pitched the bronze medal game against Argentina and win 2-0. So it was a great effort by him.
We'll get around the diamonds in a moment, Lee. I think I'll go in between batters, right?
Yeah, right on, mate. So batting lead off for the South Australian team, it's Maddie Scott. She'll be followed in by Abby Jorgensen and then Hayley Benithan.
Maddie Scott's had quite the tournament. She was a late entry. Cara Schulz was an injury, so we got a replacement in Maddie Scott, who wasn't available originally.
She's been hitting the ball hard and often this competition so far.
Yeah, she's, I guess, spending, 2.5 years now over in the U.S. system, college system. And, she's obviously been in the gym, like, great athlete. And, she's hitting with power, can play the short game. She reads the game quite well. So it's great to see her back on your home diamonds.
Yes, she's got herself a base on balls to start off the innings for the red team, and now it's Abby Jorgensen, the centre fielder. First pitch is in there. Now this is not the starting pitcher I received from the thing. This is Willow Swinburne, I think.
The DP?
Yes.
So they've obviously switched it at the plate.
Yep. And Maddie's off. Catcher throws the ball on the deck, getting there a bit quicker, but not before the fleet-footed Scott makes second base.
So just so people at home know, Lang, the flex DP swap at the plate doesn't actually count as a substitution, is that right? Can you explain that to the viewers at home?
Yeah, I guess it's, times you want to have your pitcher hitting, but when you make that change, you don't want to bring them out of the game and when you bring Willow in. So that's the reason behind it, and it doesn't count as a substitution. So you can do the re-entry and bring her back into pitch.
Win-win situation. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Abby. So well taken then by Jasmine Barker, third base in foul territory. So retires Abby and brings in the catcher for South Australia in this game, Hayley Benithan.
Another player at junior college.
Kansas.
Back for the Christmas break.
In the hole, in the gap. Here comes Scott.
Fumbled at the plate. Benithan will stand up at 2. Maddie Scott scores the first run of the ball game. Great throw from the left fielder, Wilson. And Maddie Scott just has a little bit of a hobble.
Yeah, she was off and running. She was always be going for home on that, wasn't she? So now we have the DP. It's Becky Havis. First pitch is high for a ball. It's a little bit lower, it's cold strike, so evens up the count. It's an 11 count, 1-on-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Up the middle, is another run coming. Or not.
2 very close plays at the
Lovely
plate.
throw.
I think both of them probably could have or should have been out. Maddie Scott slid underneath the tag. Benithan tried to slide around it. But it's 1-all for the 2 teams for plays at the plate tonight. Score remains 1-0.
Brings in the left fielder, Georgia Ballard.
First pitch swinging, but how's the throw from Jamie Lee Rowe?
Spot on.
The left-hander, it was probably on the right side for her as well. Ran straight onto it. Throw came in quick, smart.
Four Georges in, James. 4 Georges in this state team for SA this week. Common name it must be.
Georgia Burr won a hitting award at the under-16s a few years ago. Georgia King's an up-and-comer. She'll play under-18s in a couple of weeks' time.
And Georgia Hood.
One of SA's finest.
Yep.
Played in the Canada Cup and the recent
World
Games.
Yes.
In Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama.
Powerful hit of the ball, Georgia Hood, that is.
Georgia Ballard was there as well, playing for the youth team.
3 balls and 1 strike on Baz, as she's known as. She also gets a base on balls, making the second for this innings. Brings to the plate the shortstop, Taylor Chillingworth.
Not sure if you noticed, Lee, but the back girl tonight for SA's Lucy Weatherstone from the Seacombe Softball Club.
Any relation to Stormy?
Played in the SA Under-12 team as a state rep. And she's the daughter of the great Kylie Weatherstone. And Anthony, but...
First one's a called strike on Chili. Good play then from shortstop Shani Heroa, wasn't it? She just stayed down, didn't panic.
That's the key, Lee.
Yep.
She stayed low. She played the lead runner and force out at third for Havas. It was a very good play. You can jump in any time, Lang, with your special comments.
Well, just, you know, these diamonds have been, you know, I think they got to be aggressive in these diamonds because you sit back on the ball and there's a lot of times I've seen where the ball's just jumped up on that second bounce. So she played that well and heads up play just to get the lead runner.
That's a very excellent point from you, Lang, because it's the second bounce that seems to cause most of the trouble. We did have one stage a couple of years ago when Chelsea Robinson, who you'd know well, was playing at shortstop and the ball just reared up and went to the fence.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, so...
Can't get a word in, but Lee, we're swapping roles tonight, so would you mind if I went around the diamond?
No, go ahead.
Michaela Yankovic pitching to Hayley Benithan. Sophie Roberts at first, Maddie Scott at second, Neve Adams at third, Taylor Chillingworth at shortstop, and the outfield left to right, Georgia Ballard, Abby Jorgensen and Zoe Thompson. Becky Havas is the DP.
Excellent. I'll pass.
How'd I go?
Well, I've given you 9 out of 10.
Didn't mention the hole, didn't mention the green grass that's been mowed.
That's been mown. You've got to get it right. You're going to quote me, you use the right sentence. This is Sky Ludlam, number 54. What a good hit, although Chili's onto it. And just unable to hold the ball there at first was Sophie Roberts. I've got a feeling she might have made it though, Sky.
Yeah, great range shown by Chillingworth going, breaking to her backhand side. I'm looking to my left for official, and it's a single to shortstop. Sophie Roberts did the best she could.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough too. You've got to have that lateral movement, don't you, when you play shortstop? Aisling Wilson is the batter.
Right up the front of the box as well.
On the first strike. I love those. No, we won't go there, James.
Don't want to give anything away to any potential opposition coaches watching you, Lang. Do you like bunting on the first pitch?
I have a tendency of letting our batters, you know, if a pitch is there, to have a swing at it, give them the opportunity. You know, I just feel, you know, be more aggressive, and there's a good example of what can happen when you swing the bat.
Yep.
I see green again, so a single to left field.
First two hitters on, promising sides for the Western Australian team.
Here's a look at the Eastern replay. Wilson just smashed it. Adams couldn't get the glove to it.
Yep. This is the shortstop for WA, Jasmine Barker. I think she'll go short for sure here.
Now our man Anthony Weatherstone, who calls some of the action on Spacequake Sports with us, says that he was taught when he was first starting out as coaching, if you get runners on 1 and 2 with none out, this batter's an automatic bunt.
Infield fly rule came into play. So one down.
Even if it's your cleanup hitter, James?
Well, we had this exact same conversation with Maddie coming up to bat, and I said I'd let her swing away, and he said, well, it's just what I was taught. Home run, straight centre field. On cue.
Yeah. I think if it's late in the game and it's a close game, then you look at that situation. But, you know, early in the game, you know, I think you got to let your hitters hit and let them work themselves into good counts and move the runners around.
Well, the game earlier today, Queensland versus Victoria, we mentioned it a couple of times. You can't win a game 1-0 anymore in softball. You've got to score 3, 4, 5 or 6 runs to be competitive now, don't you?
Yeah, and especially here too, like, you know, the pitchers are starting to get a bit of fatigue. We're midweek and, you know, they've already thrown a bunch of innings and, you know, they had a bit of assistance, I think, from the wind from day one, and now those winds have dropped and balls are being hit a lot harder. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Hard to hold the team to 1 run.
2 strikes on Willow. And now 3. 2 down for the West Aussies, and it brings in the number 9 hitter, Caitlin Miles. Runners remain where they are. That's what I was saying about the bunt lane. You wouldn't want to get out of this to lead off 2 batters, 2 lead-offs, get on, and you get out of there. You get this batter gets out, and they haven't moved. That's the only thing that playing the percentage, what I was talking about. I know you're going to say you'd hit away.
Of course. Well, you get them moved around with none out. You know, you get them second and third. You've got a chance for a sack fly. But still, you still got a runner in scoring position, so single should score.
It's a good pitch, wasn't it? Just took a little bit of pace off it, Michaela Yankovic. Have you been around the diamond yet? You have? Just checking.
At the start of this inning, Michaela's the star pitcher for the Walkerville Cats, really keeping him in contention in the SA Premier League this season.
Well, it's a good hit. It's a run-scoring hit. So Sky Ludlam becomes the opening score for the Western Australia team. Was a good hit up the middle.
Here's the Eastern replay. Just come off the glove of Maddie Scott, I think, so it slowed the pace of the ball down. So Jorgensen had to charge in.
Yeah. Probably was the difference between her being safe at home and not safe, you'd say. Good point, James.
Would you prefer to see the throw come in head high, maybe bounce before the plate rather than at the toes of the catcher and loop in?
Yeah, I think whether it came out of her hand wrong there, but it did have a fair bit of air under it, so it's pretty hard for Haley to make a play at home plate with that throw.
At the top of the lineup now, it's Madison McCabe.
Runners at the corners here. Be interesting to see the tactics for both teams.
Yep.
We saw South Australia throw a runner out last night in a 1-3 swing, a fake throw over to 2 and then hose a runner at 3.
That is a good pitch, isn't it? Committed there.
Different catch though tonight. Bonython and Adams sharing
Yeah.
the catching duties so far this week.
Yep.
Good spot.
It's a good call by the catcher, Hayley Bonython, wasn't it? Similar pitches, I would have thought. Now's the time to throw the ball away from her, see if she'll nibble at it. Like that. Good pitch.
Yeah, change of pace. Beats the batter, retires the side. Western Australia tied up, 1 apiece.
Good game so far, isn't it?
So far, so good. And that's what we want to see. We want to see some spectacular action. Speaking of spectacular action, it's a 0-0 ball game on the backfield. Diamond 2 after 1 complete inning. ACT got off to a flyer, 2 hits to start off the first inning. Failed to score the runners, but they've scored and they've made a couple of errors in the top of the second. So 2 runners aboard with 2 outs for New South Wales. We'll bring you some more scores as that game progresses. 3 hits in that inning for WA, only managing to score 1 run.
But good signs, isn't it? Good signs.
South Australia has McKeely Doney. Saw her warming up in the bullpen, so she'll be ready to go.
Pick-up player for the South Australian side, isn't she?
Yep, Ruby Fidge is also in the bench. So, and so is Georgia Hood. So all 3 of the other pitchers for South Australia could be potentially coming in, but I've only seen McKeely throwing, and out they go now to the bullpen.
Okay, it's batters 7, 8 and 9, starting with Sophie Roberts, followed by Zoe Thompson and Neve Adams. First pitch is a little bit off the target. Interesting position, Neve Adams batting at James, you think?
Yeah, we've seen her down the bottom of the order for a couple of games over the last couple of days.
Right, I haven't seen those games. And whoa,
Smashes
that
it.
was going. So was the bat.
That went for a fly too.
Heroa nearly got a glove to it, and you can see the scuff marks on her knees, but she's just deflected it out to left field, and there goes the bat flying in the follow-through.
I guarantee this girl will bunt.
Zoe Thompson.
Yes, I'll be...
Bit of a slap effort.
well, if it was in, I would have said it was a slap bunt. I'd cover myself there. Just need... In this position, Lang, you need to just be ready to cover.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I'll keep learning. I'll keep learning.
I don't think you'll learn too much. You might learn how you get out of situations.
All the outfielders right in tight. We can see a shift in the field. Second base is standing almost on top of it.
Yeah, don't think I've ever seen that before, unless it was just out of T-ball. It's a big gap there between
Yeah.
first and
Yeah.
second. I guess if they keep throwing outside, they're all right, but be
Thompson's-
careful coming inside.
Thompson's the youngest player in this under-23s team. She's still eligible for 18s
All
this
right.
year and next year, so she's in the state under-18s as well. So if she can see that and she can pull the ball, might be a good hit for her. Although that right field is in tight as well, so good chance for a 9-3. They've got them covered basically, but maybe giving up a hit if it's a slow roller.
Well, if the pitcher needs to keep the ball down, let her ground out, because if she puts it up, she could put it over third base's head.
Or if she bunts it down the first
Yeah,
base line
yeah.
as well, there'll be no one covering.
So is she covering the steal? Is Roberts going to steal? Is that
No.
why she's there?
Well, that's potential as well, because the shortstop's in
Yeah.
like 3, 4, 5 steps in front of the line. There's the shortstop into play. Lead
Yeah.
runner.
Yeah.
Played into their hands. The coach looks like a genius.
Well defended.
One down, brings in the number 9 hitter, Neve Adams.
Well, Lee, you guaranteed that Thompson was going to bunt. I'm almost guaranteeing that she's going to steal here. She has got wheels.
Oh, she's certainly quick. Let's see what the catcher's arm is like. If they get ahead in the county, I'd be going hit and run, I reckon. This girl can bat, Adams.
Was the youngest in the
Youngest of
team
them.
that won the 2022 Gilly Shield. Memorable tournament. She had the walk-off hit against the ACT that guaranteed them top spot. And the Audrey McLaughlin Cup.
That makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Yes, when you've got a player like Neve, you're as a coach, you're a bit reluctant to try anything else but let her bat in this situation. Even count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, good, well taken, wasn't it, by Shani Heroa.
Yeah, Heroa has been in the play a fair bit. She had the play to end the first inning on Chillingworth. Played the force out in the last play of Zoe Thompson's fielder's choice and takes a good catch.
2 down, we're at the
side.
top of the lineup again, Maddie Scott.
Coach Lucas has made a liar out of us both, Lee. She slapped all her time, all her pitches, and hasn't stolen yet.
Well, you said she'd steal, and I just back you up, James, so we need to clarify that.
Maybe we have to have a word to Ben. He's doing well. South Australia lost their first 2 games of the tournament and have won all 6 that they've played since, including a 14-7 win against Victoria. Just their last game. Earlier today, they beat New South Wales 3-2 in a tight one, so it's their 3rd game of the day.
Well, it's 2.5 years since we've seen Maddie, I reckon, here, and she's certainly got stronger because now she hits the ball with power all the time. So you always could, you know, play a little slap shot, couldn't she, when she was here? Pitcher, shortstop, look at that.
Well, that was the
Pulled
shift
it,
that they
yeah.
played again, and she did pull it into the gap. So a single up the middle, really, for Maddie Scott. But it beat the second base player to her glove side. Yeah, when we saw Maddie Scott last, as we look at on the Eastern replay, she really did drag that bat around. She was short game in the left-handed batter's box and a pitcher that played a bit of middle infield.
Yep, that's
now
right.
she's specialist middle infielder and power left-hand batter. Just out of reach.
What a good recovery by Shani. I tell you, she's having a good game, isn't she? Right from pitch number 1. So no addition to score. It remains 1 apiece as we go into the bottom of the second.
Yeah, on the Eastern replay, a little bit unlucky for Jorgensen. It just clipped the edge of the glove of the pitcher, but it was enough to knock it down for Heroa. And yeah, it was a great play, Lee.
Yeah.
Good recovery for the 3rd out.
One of 2 things happens with those, doesn't it? When it comes off a fielder, either goes to a gap and you get a hit, or it goes straight to the fielder. And she was quick on it, Shani.
Well, good defense denying West.
Here's another one.
Out of the box.
Batting out of the box, ending a fair pitch ball.
How do you mark that one, the scoreboard?
B.O.B. batting out of the box.
Yeah, that Bob, just put down
But
Bob.
You know
No,
the name.
you know any Bobs?
You lost your late father early in the year.
You know, weren't able to pick our pitches, so to me it really helped our battery and gave them confidence out there.
Another great catch.
Another great catch.
You serious? Aisling Wilson. I saw Sophie Roberts.
Yeah, that was the important part of the play, to check in the runner, because Ballard's generally pretty quick and a gutsy base runner. ACT with a 1-run lead over New South Wales in the bottom of the third. 2 runners on with 2 out as well. So if there's an upset over on the backfield, I know it's not over and done with yet, but that would almost guarantee South Australia a spot in the top 2. I think New South Wales and Queensland still have to play against each other as well for a second time.
Two on the right, 2 strikes on Sophie Roberts, and there's 2 out.
Yeah, New South Wales, Queensland, first game tomorrow. Smashes
It's big. It's big, and it's
a chess mark.
gee, another great catch. I thought she'd misread it for a moment, but no, she's just foxing, just floating around until she got in good position. Well done. It was Caitlin Miles.
Yeah, Miles on the Eastern replay. She was swirling around the outfield just like the ball was. She ended up reading it quite well. Made a good adjustment to take the catch and the 3rd out, ending the South Australian threat. Yeah, first thing tomorrow morning, 10 a.m, Queensland versus New South Wales. Should Queensland win that, providing South Australia win today, South Australia's opponents tomorrow are Queensland and ACT. New South Wales have to play Queensland, Victoria and WA. So New South Wales definitely still a chance of a top 2. You'd almost say Queensland with their runs against would be the ones hardest to knock off. But if New South Wales and South Australia both beat Queensland, well then we could even have a tie for the top 3 positions. Yeah.
Coming down to the last day of the minor round, isn't it?
It's quite close.
Yep. And that's what you like to see.
Well, Victoria, they've still got a little bit of work to do to secure 4th spot, but if ACT beat New South Wales, it'll really come down to the wire. Victoria have got East Texas and New South Wales and ACT tomorrow, so you'd think that winner of the Victoria ACT game will might even be that 4th place game, but then it'll come down to runs against.
We're at the top of the 4th, and this is the number 6 hitter for Western Australia. It's Aisling Wilson.
Just took her eyes off it at the last minute. She's in trouble here.
Yeah, she's in big trouble. And is out. Put out, trying to get the extra base. It went to Neve Adams and just hit the top of the glove, I think, but no harm done. The runner sits down.
Eastern replay, just tips the glove of Adams. Chillingworth backing up. Couldn't believe her eyes. Let Wilson try to take an extra base.
Now it's Jasmine Barker. Greeted with a strike. Looked a similar pitch, but this time a ball, 1 of each. Maddie Scott was looking and searching, seeking, found it, caught it, 2 down.
Yeah, she called out Thompson pretty early. Here's the Eastern replay.
Zoe was coming in, but she's obviously overcalled her. Fair enough. When you do that, you've got to catch it, don't you? It's your responsibility then.
and really you can't tell at home, but going from the skin diamond to the grass, it drops off there, so she did well to maintain her balance on that through that play.
Well, a quick innings then for the red team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been a 1-2-3 inning, but it was 3 pretty good shots off the bat from WA. Anything could have happened in that hole between second base and right field, and particularly in these conditions. And then that last one, a line drive to short, low shoestring catch for the shortstop Chillingworth. So it's been pretty good. These two teams match up really well. I've already mentioned it tonight that they went into a 9-inning game last time they played. And it was only 1 run that separated them, and now here we are in the middle of the game, 1 run separating them again.
Yeah, it's 2 runs to 1 in favour of South Australia, and this is the bottom of the 4th, and it brings in the number 8 batter, Zoe Thompson, followed by Neve Adams. Then we're at the top with Maddie Scott.
Lang, we mentioned that you and your father both now are World Championship head coaches, but has Mike stopped getting stuck into you about being the only Harrow in the family that hadn't played in or been a part of a Steelers World Championship?
No, not yet.
There'll come a time.
It's I guess
Captain the team in 2009.
Yeah, that was an absolutely big moment for not only Dad and Mike, but for the Steelers and that first gold medal. So that always holds special.
Well, has anyone told you this stat? That Bob coached Mike to a World Championship and Lang coached Matt to a World Championship.
No one's really said that. I don't think they have, not unless my wife Allison has. But it's pretty special, and I guess to have that opportunity, very thankful for it. And we carried a few young guys.
Just swooping like a semaphore seagull on the last available chip on the ground.
Semaphore's a suburb just north of here, just a beach suburb, and the seagulls love the chips out there. So
all over it, Lee.
Thank you, Lee. She was playing in close then because of the left-handed Thompson.
Both teams aggressive now, aren't they?
Yep,
a lot of first pitch swing early in the count, and the defense holding up both sides of the diamond.
They're trying to, I think they're trying to stamp their authority, don't you think? By that, just let's go out and crack a few. This girl will crack one. Oh, sorry, that's a prediction by me.
A walk and a single so far for Scott, stolen base, and a few sharp plays in the field.
Yeah, she's a player.
Not a bad night out. Her old man's here tonight. Not sure if he's watching the baseball or not.
He's probably watching both, I think, knowing him, Andrew.
Hall of Fame baseballer, big in Japan, Olympian, silver medalist.
Maybe there's something in the genes. Look at the Harrows, James. Maybe there is something in the genes.
It's going to tail foul.
Not bad for a left-handed hitter. We had a left-handed girl from America came and played for Walker. Remember her?
Gabby Snyder.
Gabby Snyder. I've never seen a left-hander hit the ball. There's a light tower over there, nearly cleared the light tower.
You and me both, Lee. Very impressive young athlete. I think she went back to
become
finish
a doctor, wasn't she?
Yeah, medical
degree.
Won a Cathcart medal and a premiership.
Look at that.
Clever play by Scott, wasn't it?
She's done that a couple of times this tournament. She either smashes one foul and then next she does a running bunt, and or vice versa. She does a running bunt that maybe goes foul or pulls back, and here's the instant replay. She just beats it out.
And it just keeps the defense guessing. Like even first and second base, we're talking, do I stay in, go back? And, you know, when you're able to hit the ball hard and play the short game, steal a base, that's, yeah, it's great skills.
Tremendous athlete. She's just come back from the States, an even better player than when she went over, because she was no slouch when she went over. She played in a junior spirit team at a junior world championships.
This is Abby Jorgensen.
And she was the South Australian MVP at the last under-23s that was played in Redlands, which would have been, what, 3-4 years ago, because there was a big hiatus in the between under-23 events.
Yep.
And I guess it shows too, you know, or, you know, you look at the numbers last year, the amount of girls from Australia that played over in college. I think we had about 33 last year. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for them to be exposed to the training environment in the gym, you know, 4 or 5 times a week, and but also too to maintain their school grades, and that it's quite a commitment and effort that it takes to be there, and obviously away from your family, a long distances away, and that. So it's a credit to them, and you know, obviously the hard work's paying off, and able to come back and play in our national championships and lift the level of play is, you know, it's great to see.
Discipline turn at bat by Abby Jorgensen then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jumped the base on balls. Now they're threatening the red team.
Normally an aggressive hitter, and just want a quick shout out. I don't really like doing the shout outs during the game, but to Jade Jensen, who did the softball shout out website last year, that really brought the Australian college players back to family and friends back home. Helped us out in the commentary last year and played in both the Gilly Shield and the Joyce Lester Shield as well. Gave up some of her time, and shame she's not here. I'm not sure the circumstances, but I hope you're well, Jade, if you're watching. Anything could happen then.
See, hit it really hard, Haley, and the third base player, Jasmine Barker, knocked the ball down to the ground.
Here's the Eastern replay. She pulls it hard, third base, just knocked it down, but she lost it. Maddie Scott quick enough to get to third. Jorgensen was always going to make it to 2, and Haley Benithan made it to first, and a speed-up runner for the catcher.
Speed-up runner was Charlize Callahan running at first. Now's the DP, Becky Havis.
Already 2 hits tonight, Lee.
Yep. This is the time to get greedy now, isn't it?
And
going for 3.
The West Beach breeze
has picked up.
And she's a pull hitter to the left side. So not calling a home run, but laying in our pre-season competition, the fully loaded competition. Becky Havis was player of the final. She hit 2 grand slams.
Is that right?
In one game.
I may just have a little rider to that. The
fence
was 180 feet.
Doesn't matter. You still got to get it up there, and you've got to get her over there and do it. Do it twice is great stuff.
Yep.
And she's Seacombe's big hitter, clean-up batter for the Seacombe Tigers in their return to the Premier League this season. Has been really mashing the ball against the likes of Grauer. And go, Lee, I'm cutting you off.
No, that's fine. Tricky.
Oh, sharp.
How sharp is she? Shani. Terrific play once again.
Yeah, we'll see it here on the Eastern replay. She gathered it, backing up the third base player. She takes it on the backhand side, gets her balance, turns the corner a little bit to make the tag on the runner coming through. So very good play to get Western Australia out of a jam. Still 2-1.
Yep, and their first 2 batters were out, the red team then, and next 4 batters tried their best to get a run, but it remained, as you said, James, 2-1.
Not
SA.
often you'd put 6 players to the plate
And not score.
and not score.
Yep. Top of the 5th coming up, going through the game pretty well.
Yeah, we'll have hitters 9-1-2. Did you already mention that, Lee?
No, I haven't, James.
9-1-2. So we're going through the 3rd time in the lineup for WA. Coach Lucas, is it about player management now? You're going to let Yankovic keep going, or you're going to rest her a little bit because she's carried a load so far this week? And you've got Fidge, Donny and Hood all there at your disposal.
Yeah, well, I'd keep it going, I think, while the score remains something like this. What do you think, Lang?
Yeah, listen, she's pitching well and, you know, keeping the WA to 1 run. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think they're probably trying to get to that top 2 spot. And, you know, I think if you can get there, that gives you that opportunity, that game to go straight into the grand final. So, you know, it's this round robin still got a long ways to go, but you got to still continue to get the W's. So, yeah, I would stick with her.
Miles, who smashed it in her first at-bat, an RBI single. Brought in WA's only run of the game for her first at-bat. And Lee, a score update from the backfield. Top of the 4th, New South Wales have only just scored, so they've tied the game. It's 1-1 off 1 hit.
Wow.
In the 4th, did you say?
In the top of the 4th.
Yeah, the wind will be playing a part over there.
The right fielder would be in second base back pocket on the backfield, I'd say.
Her first thought was correct, wasn't it? She was going to swing and then change her mind. So she goes down looking.
Not too much wrong with that one, I wouldn't have thought. We, of course, are just a little off centre, so we can't see the edges from where we are, but looked good to me.
Top of the lineup, Maddie McCabe, followed by Jamie Lee Rowe.
WA will return for the Gillies Shield. They had a year off. They played the 23s last year, but they didn't play the Gillies.
No.
Wonder how many of these players will return in a couple of weeks' time. January 2nd to 6th. The best women's softballers in the country return to Adelaide for the 75th Gillies Shield. The Diamond year, 75.
Oh, look at that cracking shot. No chance of the pitcher getting near that. It was going
3rd
out
time
to
through the
field.
lineup.
Yep. You mention that a lot, James.
I do.
Very valid points.
You know, unless you're I'll use it for local terms, a Steph Trzynski or a Yo Grauer, you know, in the Premier League, when you get through the 3rd and 4th times in the lineup, you're just lamb to a slaughter because our batters have just honed in, they've got their timing, they've seen enough pitches and they're mashing teams. And I've never seen so many hits and runs scored in a Premier League season that's so competitive, and Michaela Yankovic is one of those players that have got some big scalps throughout the year, but I'm sure she'd love a backup pitcher at Walkerville.
Yep. This is Jamie Lee Rowe batting.
Chance, but the runner.
Quick recovery from Hayley Benithan, wasn't it? She was caught in 2 minds, the runner. She was going, changed her mind.
We've seen Grace Rickson and Chantel Ladner come and play a few games in the SA Premier League so far this season. You know, not a bad idea to get in front of some of the South Australian players, play on this field again.
Yep. Yeah, I have watched a couple of games where they've been over here, so it's good to see. And I guess, too, it gives them...
just off the glove of Adams.
It gives those girls an opportunity to get some game time in that because, there's, all as they have back in Sydney's just training. So to, be a part of games and be out in the middle and that, it is good for them.
But Chantel Ladner, in her first game, she threw a shutout. I think it was a one-hit or a no-hit shutout. And then the second game she came and played, she gave up 12 hits and 9 runs to West Torrens, the ladder leaders.
Yes, it was a complete change, wasn't it? Oh, that's a good shot.
Well, a change of tactics from WA. They've gone the short game.
Sophie Roberts in. Go ahead, Jones.
They're playing the short game. Sophie Roberts fields it well at first and across to Maddie Scott for the first out. And now with 2 runners on at second and third. Western Australia are going to threat with Tabitha Rewell, who's got... No, that was Tabitha Rewell. They'll go to the 4-hitter, Hiroa, who has been a hero at shortstop for him tonight. Can she be a hero in the box?
Well, she's been a big factor in the defensive side of things for Western Australia in this game. And as you mentioned, can she do something here? Just a miss hit that lands somewhere in the outfield will score at least 1. There's Wheels on base. Just got to be patient batting it, I think, here, Shani.
And that last play, Lang, nearly answers your question with runners at 1 and 2. Although there was 1 out, do you bunt with your best hitter up? Well, the 3-hitter who'd had 2 hits in the game already, put that sacrifice bunt down, 2 runners in scoring position. Let's see if it pays off. Just off it, the 3rd time through the order.
I think she moved up in the box there as she was in motion.
I did that once to Joel Goodall. He's beaten me all day with his rise ball. And I closed my eyes and one went over the fence. I got lucky, but not a bad tactic if the pitch is beating her. And so far tonight, she hasn't had much luck. The bunt batting out of the box or hit by batted ball and the foul fly to third base so far, but she seemed to crush that last one that went foul. Hello to Joel Goodall. Love you, mate.
Probably throw another change up, I think. No.
This game just
liner
has been brilliant. I'm so impressed with the skill of both teams, the infielding, the outfielding, the base running, the hitting, the executions of the bunts and the stolen bases. This game's had a bit of everything so far. And Chillingworth takes a reasonably comfortable catch in the end, but the ball was hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it's they threatened then, didn't they, really? Seriously threatened. 2 runners in scoring position, but the red team were able to shut them down. Correction. Now we come to the bottom of the 5th. Sailing through the event.
Now, for a guy that's played in a team that is a perennial last place runner, when you have games like this, they're even more heartbreaking than the mercy, the 10-run mercies, and never played in a win against the New South Wales team for South Australia. Did for Northern Territory one year when South Australia didn't have a team, but New South Wales just keep doing it. Like, always have a close game against them and they find a way. And so the WA team will have some drive in them for sure. There's a hunger for a team that sits at the bottom of the ladder when you don't feel like you deserve to be there, and they've made that change. So they don't want the South Australian batters to come around a 4th time. New pitcher.
Yeah, Alyssa Charter-Smith,
who was listed as the starter.
Yep.
The re-entries come into play.
So leading off in the bottom of the 5th for the South Australian side is Georgia Ballard, followed by Taylor Chillingworth and Sophie Roberts. First one's high for a ball.
Well, we saw Baz patiently get to a 3-1 count her last turn at bat and then put a dent in the fence with her RBI triple.
Scored the go-ahead run. I'm going to ask you in a minute, Langy, if you don't mind, just give us an insight of how you enjoyed coaching at the Olympics.
Yeah, that was it was massive.
Yeah,
just to be a part of that Olympic movement and you know, be there with the Aussie spirit, and you know, it was challenging, I guess, because you know we were really still in that COVID area with travel and a lot of restrictions on us, and you know the girls did an amazing job. You know, we were in a hotel for a month and a half, and then move into the Olympic Village, and that it was quite special to be part of that, and to play in the facilities that we did were outstanding. And I guess the only thing that was missing were the spectators, which it is what it was, and but yes, to be a part of it was such a privilege and a lot of fun.
Yeah, we loved the coverage, the television coverage, it was terrific watching. Oh, hello.
Hard hit shot from Chillingworth.
Only human there now, Shani.
Lee, that makes one of us that enjoyed the coverage. Shout out to Bill Woods. No, Charter Smith has come in and done her job. She's put a bit of heat on the ball. Here's the Eastern replay of Chillingworth's hit, but she struck out Georgia Ballard. That's the first strikeout for the South Australians for the game.
Few and far between so far. This is Sophie Roberts, the first base player for the red team.
But bailed up in a hotel room. Lang, did you share the village with any famous athletes?
Well, that's a hit. It's a good hit too.
Yeah, there was obviously plenty of famous athletes there. I remember I think we were sitting outside and watching, different events on the screens and that, and then all of a sudden, the Boomers come walking out, led by Patty Mills, and this is that's pretty cool. And I know the girls got photos taken with Ash Barty, and Djokovic was there. KD, Kevin Durant was there, and Cheesy actually I think was a little bit taller than Kevin.
Well,
Cheesy's a little bit taller than that light pole over there, I think.
Oh man,
this is Zoe Thompson, the right fielder. She'll be followed in by the third base, Neve Adams. There's one out.
Still throws all right for an old man as well.
Yeah, he had another good season over in the ISC circuit.
How old would he be, Cheesy?
Yeah. I think he's around the 38 mark.
Just a pup.
2 strikeouts for Charter Smith in the inning.
She's done the job, hasn't she, since she's come on? Fresh as a daisy, and it's showing. Now it's Neve Adams. Yes, you wouldn't want to be a 5-foot young fella come in for your first turn at bat and Cheesy on the pitching rubber looking at you. I'd be saying, is that man standing on a ladder?
Well, when he
He's
does
a big
pitch,
man.
it feels like that he could place the ball in the catcher's mitt.
We had a photo in the club rooms, the old club rooms as it is now, of an Olympic US pitcher called Charlotte Graham. She's stepping out of the 8-foot circle.
Yeah, that's getting down there, isn't it?
It's getting down there.
Yeah.
Neve's a good hitter normally, so I think she's due.
Neve's had a pretty good day today. You know, she had a few hits earlier on today, so she's seeing the ball well. And you know, I think she struggled a little bit early on, but she's come back and finding some form.
Settling in there.
Yeah.
Got a huge arm. She plays. Belle White for Sturt, the local side. Belle White plays at shortstop. Neve plays at third. You run on anything hit them, you're wasting your time, you know.
Learning from the best, eh?
Yeah. And that's terrific advantage for the Sturt side, because Belle's gone from first base this last season, I think it was, to shortstop. And young pitchers like Ruby Fidge now and Zali Adams before, just terrific. You know, the words of encouragement and advice. Oh, on cue, Neve.
That's in the way. Chillingworth scores from second. Roberts advances to 2. Adams with an RBI single and just adds a little bit of insurance for the SA team. Here's the Eastern replay of Adams. Was named to play in a Junior Worlds in Peru. The tournament was cancelled, along with a few other South Australians.
She hits the ball hard when she's hitting it, Neve, as we saw then. We're at the top of the lineup now with Maddie Scott, Abby Jorgensen, and then Hayley Benoithen. There's 2 late.
Oh, crushes it.
That's power.
You know what's coming next, don't you? Run and bun?
Is that what you're predicting?
Not with 2 out. Let her swing away. Lee, you'll be proud of me. I resisted the urge to tell you the last game I played against Andrew Kirkpatrick. It was on my 42nd birthday.
5 years ago.
2.5.
Oh, sorry. I've taken the punt. Gee.
High ball into foul territory again. They feel it's got a chance. Just nicks the glove.
Not easy running, looking into those lights, I would suggest.
How did I go? Oh, 2 for 3. Thanks for asking, Lee.
Well, I was concentrating on something more important in this game than your prowess. Is that a good answer, Chief?
Maddie Scott,
You're
2
not
hits.
saying anything, eh?
2 hits and a walk so far in this game. Chops it to Charter Smith, who's had an inning, 2 strikeouts.
Has she ever?
Look at her run off full of beans. The Western Australia pitcher, she did give up 1.
Yep.
Hits to Chillingworth, Roberts, and Neve Adams with the RBI single. South Australia go out to a 3-1 lead over at Diamond 2. It's blown open a little bit. 1 in the 4th and now 3 in the top of the 5th with 1 out and 2 runners still on. So the threat's still going for New South Wales. They're up 4-1 against the ACT. So South Australia and New South Wales on the live ladder. South Australia go to 14 points and New South Wales to 10. So 3 losses to New South Wales, 2 of them coming at the hands of South Australia. The other one from East Texas. So they've got 1 back with their win over Queensland, and both South Australia and New South Wales play Queensland tomorrow.
Well, we come to the penultimate innings. That is the 6th innings in a 7 innings game. And it's the batter number 5, Sky Loveland, who you remember her last turn at bat was that cracking line drive to Maddie Scott, who's plucked it out of the air.
Change up.
It was a good pitch, wasn't it, too? Sky seemed to be committed a little bit too early for it. And a lot of times, Lang, as you would have seen over the years, when you let one go that you should have swung at, you're going to be swinging at the next pitch. It happens a lot. Don't we, James? We see it in our Premier League competition week after week.
I thought you were asking me. I was just about to say I don't leave pitches that aren't strikes.
You put it over that fence normally.
Fouled off. 0-2 count still remains.
Oh, again.
Fourth strikeout for Yankovic for the game.
Well, I'm impressed with you tonight, James. I've got to give you the biggest compliment out. It's taking you 5 innings before you started talking about yourself.
Now, I keep saying it. I'm not into self-promotion, but if I get the opportunity, I will. Both of them went up the middle, by the way, in a loss. So I hit Marshall Cronk the same day, PS. Wow. How'd he go at the Worlds, Lang?
Cronky, what a man he is. You know, he's had a terrific season, you know, on the North American Tour, you know, winning the ISCs. And then also, you know, taking out the MVP of the tournament. And Palmerston North, you know, he threw our last 2 games, one to beat Canada 2-0, and then he, you know, he was ready to go against Japan, so you know we let him in there. We just kept monitoring him, but he, you know, he felt good all game, and you know, we won that game, and you know, won the invitational there, so which was great, and another MVP honor for him.
The Big Bear.
Big Bear, yep.
I'm glad you brought all those details in, because he'll feel really wrapped there that he's hit him. How old would he be, Cronky now?
Cronky, I think he's around the 27 mark, 28 mark.
I think he played under 17s here in Adelaide in 2011.
All right, so that's 11 years ago. So he would have been 16, that's 27.
Yeah.
Not a bad go, Lang.
But, you know, the World Cup, too, you know, he's just outstanding for us, you know.
Yep.
I look back at the game against Japan when we were up against it early on, and he came in and settled things down, and he got some key RBIs for us, and which was, you know, just an outstanding for our guys to come back. And then obviously, you know, as the tournament went on, you know, he just contributed, whether it was on the mound or, you know, hitting the ball and that. And, you know, he come away with a gold medal, but also MVP honors. So he had an outstanding season this year, Marshall Cronk.
Fantastic.
Trying the change-up again.
Going to the change-up of business, are you, Michaela?
Third time through the order, bottom of the lineup. She's gone to her bag of tricks. Doesn't want to put any pace on it, give him anything to hit. Like that.
Hazeling. Yes, I think it'll be pulling up at first now.
Second hit for Wilson.
There's one down. And it brings in the third base for the West, Jasmine Abata. One out. And we're in the top of the 6th. For those people who's just tuned in, I don't know where you've been for the first hour or so.
You've missed a beauty if you're only just joining us. That's going to the fence.
Oh, yes. Here's one of the runs back.
Trouble.
Big trouble.
Well, an RBI, though.
Gee, that was a good hit. Tailed, didn't it? Tailed away.
Well, what it was tremendous defense from the South Australian left fielder, Georgia Ballard, because she was beaten by that hit from Barker. It was a great shot. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. She beats her. She's in shallow, so she has to chase it all the way down to the fence. That's a good 50, 60 foot run. Chillingworth right there for the relay. Neve Adams for the tag out at third, but there is Wilson, who is the second run for WA, and timeout called and a substitution for WA.
the key to that for Ballard was, obviously she ran hard to the ball, but picked it up straight off the fence and made that first throw a perfect one to Chillingsworth, and strong arm from her to perfect throw to third and get the out. So, it was well executed defensively from South Australia.
It's getting the relays right, isn't it? If you get them spot on, keep practicing them until you get them spot on.
7-6.
Difference between an out or another run.
7-6-5 for the second out of the inning. There's no runners on base, and WA go to their bench lead. Did you get the number? Is it Napier?
Yep.
Vars Napier, it is. When the scorer gave me the sheet, he said she's called Vars. So it's spelled differently. I just put them down phonetically.
Big swing from the new hitter. Third time through the lineup. From 7 batters, we've seen 4 hits. That line drive to shortstop, a sack bunt, and a strikeout.
Yep. So ball hit over the shortstop. The throw comes in down a bit, but Sophie Roberts good enough to get that. So that's the end of West Australia in the top of the 6th for them batting, and it's now 3-2 South Australia.
Yeah, they'll come round to hitters 9-1-2. Miles is the 9 hitter with an RBI shot already in the game, and McCabe and Rowe both had hits their last 2 turns up at bat. So South Australia might want to get another insurance run in this inning, bottom of the 6th.
Batter number 2, Abby Jorgensen, leads them off. So they're amongst the big guns, you'd say, Benoithen, Havas, Ballard.
Eastern replay of Napier.
Just hands then, wasn't it? No,
yeah, on the change-up.
No, nothing else but hands, and just going to ground out with that.
Well, the play-by-play seems to have stopped for the game on the backfield. So the last time we gave you an update, it was 4-1 top 5 with 2 runners on and 1 out. It's the way that it stays at the moment. So it's a mystery what's happening on the backfield.
So bottom 6, it's Abby Jorgensen, centre fielder for the red team.
Yes, no catch is the call, but Jorgensen stopped.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? Good call by the umpire.
Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Tough to see because the glove was sort of turned. A great play either way.
Oh, she's a player, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shani.
Opposite field for Benoithen, it's in.
That's a double. That's what it is. That's Hayley Benoithen. When she's going, she can crack a flat shot. Hits it out the right field, just inside the line.
Yeah, great hands on the outside pitch. Drives it opposite field. Always going to 2 on that one. Looking at the third base coach, Lucas, to see if she was getting waved around.
I didn't see anything. I think Hayley realised it was only a double. Gets hold of one here, Becky. Hayley Benoithen will score.
Working outside on Havas, who had 2 hits from her first 2 plate appearances and then grounded out to short. It was a fielder's choice to end the 4th inning.
we'll be looking for the player of the match tonight, Lang and James. So need to put your thinking caps on if they're not already on.
Been a lot of great plays tonight, a lot of good hitting, so not going to be easy.
Maddox got 2 hits, a walk, couple of stolen bases, good plays in the field, 1 run scored. Haley Benithan 2 hits, an RBI. Called a good game behind the plate. Becky Havas gets under this one. It's to deep centre field. Haley Benithan tagging up and changes her mind because the throw's terrific, but the overthrow with the backup from the pitcher was in the back pocket of the third base player Barker, and they both missed it. So Benithan does get the extra base.
Yeah, Charter Smith just got too close to Baker at third there. She needed to give a bit more distance there to give herself time to react to the ball.
We can see in the Eastern replay, she waited till the last minute to go to back up, so that's probably as far behind the third base player she could get by the time she broke to be the backup. There is 2 out.
Yep.
And their defense has been right on tonight, WA, so you say that they're going to back themselves here to get out of trouble here with the runner in scoring position. A speed up runner though, Callahan comes in to run for Benithan.
And the hitter is Georgia Ballard, the number 5 hitter.
Another one in contention for tonight.
Yeah.
For player of the game, an RBI triple in the third and a walk in the first inning.
But defensively, I can't go past the shortstop for WA, Shani, been most impressive to me.
And unlucky in the batter's box tonight. So I think you probably need both an offensive and defensive contribution for a player of the game for mine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Might leave it to you though, Lang.
I was just hoping I'd just settle a stalemate with you two if he's...
We can't have any stalemates here, mate.
I set him up for you to knock him down here, so I've listed 3. All you got to do is pick one out of the hat.
Yeah, but you've lifted a handful. I've gone for one person with commitment. Here we go. He sees again. No, third base cuts her out of there.
Shark by Barker.
No addition to the score. It remains 3-2. SA.
Well, it might come down to a moment, Lang, for your player of the game. We're going to the top of the 7th. WA need a run to at least make South Australia bat again. Yankovic is going out to the plate with some unusual stretches. The body's probably sore. It's game 3 of the day for him. It's game 9 in 3 days for the red team. They're currently sitting with 6 wins and 2 losses, 62 runs for and 47 runs against. WA hungry for that first win of the tournament. This is their 8th game. They're 0-7, 24 runs for and 65 against, which it doesn't really tell the full story because 20 of those came in one game, blowout against ACT. So here we go, top of the 7th, batter 9.
Yep.
Miles will lead things off. Lee, over to you, mate.
Thank you, my friend. And Lang is pondering his best player, I think.
Well, we haven't talked about
how good's the play-by-play been? Maybe Lee's the player of the game. It's well past his bedtime. It's his 2nd game of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible job, Lee. But even Yankovic, you know, I think this is her 2nd game today and beat New South Wales this morning, right, James? Am I correct on that?
No, I was just pointing to her, Lang, when you mentioned that because she's done very well.
Yeah, and, you know, come back, you know, tonight after a big game this morning. You know, there is some fatigue in the body and she's been shaking that hand a fair bit and that. So I think she's, you know, if she keeps through to this, she's done a great job.
Ballard. Sorry, Lee.
Ballard camps under it. Well done. You've just about won me, you sweet talker, Lang.
Well, pitchers get all the glory, don't they? Don't forget that Hayley Benithan's got a couple of hits and she's called a great game. And, you know, the pitchers generally overshadow the catchers. Like, look at Josh McGovern, had a great Worlds, hit the second longest home run I've ever seen on that diamond in Auckland. And
who's the longest?
Demetrius Doney will tell you who's hit the longest home run on that diamond.
Because modesty prevents him telling you. Surely it's not you. Please say it's not you.
It was a long ball. I've got a video of it if you want to see it later.
No, I don't want to. I'm not interested. Thanks. But thanks for the offer.
Down to their last 2 outs, Western Australia.
Madison McCabe.
Pokes it right side. Thompson's got a job to get there. Scott actually beats her to the ball. Lang, you mentioned Yankovic in her win against New South Wales earlier today. She threw 7 innings for 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks.
This is Ashlyn Hayes coming in to have a hit.
In a 3-2 win. So you're right, it's her second 7-inning performance of the day.
That's a great effort, isn't it?
And she's coming in with the heat.
Yeah, Lang, James has been through just about every player on the field.
I've got it picked. If nothing changes here, I'm pretty comfortable where we're going.
Okay, that's fine.
5th strikeout of the game for Yankovic. In her 14th inning of work for the day. She's been a workhorse for the red team in their 3rd consecutive triple header day, as timeout called from Western Australia.
Purcell comes into the game as a pinch hitter, obviously.
Go back a couple of days ago, South Australia defeated New South Wales 9-6. The pitcher for that game, Michaela Yankovic, 7-inning, 9 hits, 4 strikeouts in a 9-6 win. First pitch swinging, Lee.
Yep. First pitch. No, I can't wear that. You come in cold. Surely you're going to have a look at a couple, but that's just opinion.
Well, that'll do it.
Yep.
South Australia, no need to bat in the 7th inning, and there's the Eastern replay. Michaela Yankovic doing everything she can to get out of the way of that one as Maddie Scott stops it about 3 steps behind second base. Great stretch from Sophie Roberts to end the play and ends the game. South Australia winners 3-2 over WA, and their impressive streak goes to 7 consecutive wins.
Yeah, so boys, do we agree on Michaela Yankovic being the best player?
Got me sold.
Yeah, me too. That's
good
3
pick up, Lang.
out of 3. Yes, well done. That's probably why you're the coach of the Aussie Spirit and we're not.
But I think you got to give credit to Hayley behind the plate, because as the game went on, she probably introduced the changeup a lot more, and you know, she didn't have a lot of runs to work with. She only had one to work with and to keep them at bay. So you know, Hayley's done an incredible job there too.
She's a thinking person, Hayley, for sure.
Well, South Australia, Lee, 7-inning effort against WA in 2 days, in 2 games against WA. They've played 16 innings and 2 runs have separated them.
Tells you something, doesn't it?
That this tournament is so close.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting. Well, we're just about to wrap it up. We've worked out between the 3 of us, well, Lang did, and we couldn't go past that. Michaela, great job. Thank you, James, for joining us here, and thank you, Lang, for making yourself available. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Well, absolutely enjoyed it, being around you two people that do an amazing job, you know, showcasing the sport, not only here in Australia but around the world.
Thanks, Lang, and yeah, maybe the WBC can pay for us to go to the next Worlds, and we'll call the action.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Thanks again, Lee. I'll wrap it up here from Softball SA. We'll be back tomorrow. 2 more big games at the Festival of Diamond Sports continues, because the Adelaide Comp will be playing. The Giants have got a doubleheader, and of course, we bring you day 4 of the Joyce Leicester Shield. Good night.
Good night, everyone.